Good. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone for taking the time out of your day and joining me. I appreciate the support, appreciate the time. So without wasting any more time, we'll jump right back in. First, I want to take a minute and have everybody think about a time in your life where, you thought, boy, I'd really like to do that or have that or be that person, have that job, whatever it may be. A dream really, big or small, doesn't matter. And but you didn't really go after it. You didn't pursue it at all. You didn't put any effort into it. No, not me, not this guy. No way, there's no way I could do that or become that. And really, I want you to kind of hold on to that experience and let it sink in for a little bit as I discuss a story and tell you a story about a gentleman named Chris Gardner, and the adversity that he fought through a period in his life, and really, kind of relate the two, your experience to his experience, and the learning lessons between the two. And that's really what I'm here today to do, is to discuss and explain to you that it doesn't matter how big or small the dream is, you can really do it. As long as you believe in it and you commit to it, you can do it. And that's Chris's story is no exception. It's actually a great example of how commitment and belief will lead to fulfilling your dream. He was a salesman. He was actually a family man as well. He had a wife and a young son. He started out, he invested his family savings into a lot of bone density scanners and medical equipment. And it started out pretty well for him. He had pretty good sales. He was able to produce a good lifestyle for his wife, his son, himself. And, with any sales, especially independent sales, you have your highs and your lows. And at one point, he got pretty low. And in fact, the low was so low that it was pretty stressful on the family, and his wife ended up leaving him. And actually left him and his son. And, it was a pretty hard time in his life. He kind of, obviously wasn't making any money selling the bone density scanners. He wasn't, he was kind of almost broke. His wife had left him, and he was kind of depressed, but he saw an opportunity. He saw an ad, really, for an internship at a brokerage firm, and he thought about it, and he started asking some people around, what people thought, and everybody told him, "No, you're a fool. There's no way you're gonna be able to do that. You don't have a degree, you don't have any experience. No way. It wouldn't waste your time. You need to be out there making money for your son." And so, but he thought about it, and he truly believed that if he had an opportunity to sit in front of somebody, that he could show them the passion that he would put into it and the effort that he would put into it, and that he could really do it and learn and become good at it. And so he did it, and he put in an application, and he actually was awarded an interview. And he went through the interview, and due to his natural comfortability as well as his experience in sales, he was able to convince him to give him an opportunity. And he was one of 20 people to be accepted into the internship program at the stock brokerage firm. And he started doing the internship. It was a full-time gig, 8 hours a day, and at lunch and after work, for a couple hours before he picked up his son from daycare, he would try to still sell the bone density scanners, provide money, so on and so forth. After a few months of doing this, he realized, because he sent a check in for his daycare for his kid, and the check had bounced, and to do a little digging, he found out that the IRS had reached into his bank account and took all of his savings due to back taxes. And him and his son were put out on the street, living in shelters, living out of a suitcase. And in fact, at one point, they stayed in a restroom in a train station. And at this point, obviously, he was almost nearly emotionally broke. He was probably nearly mentally broke as well, but he was right at that breaking point, but he wasn't over the cliff yet. And he thought about it, and he showed perseverance. He believed in himself. He knew that he could do it, and he just continued to push through. And after the internship program was up, after 1 year, he was the first person that was called into the office at that first day after the program ended, and he was awarded the full-time position. He was the only one out of 20 people who had, you know, he was competing in the likes of individuals who had degrees from highly accredited universities, Harvard, Yale, so on and so forth. Some of them even had experience in stock brokerage. He didn't have any of that. And he was the only one that was awarded the full-time position at the firm. Now, eventually, he would go on to be a top performer at the firm. Eventually, he became a multi-millionaire. Eventually, he owned his own stockbroker firm. He became a very influential person, very wealthy person. And if you circle it all back, it all because he believed. He believed in himself. He believed in what he could do, what he could become. And so there's 3 takeaways that I want to discuss about that. And one is, don't let the odds or the probability of anything deter you or influence you on pursuing your dreams. You know, if you think back to the beginning when he was trying to talk to people and get some advice as far as whether to apply for the internship program, everybody told him no. There's no way, you don't have a chance, don't waste your time. He did it anyways. He fulfilled his dream because he believed in himself. Which leads into the second point, and the second takeaway I want to discuss, which is if you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe that you can do it, you'll never get there. So you need to believe in yourself, believe in what you want to do, believe in the dream, and own it. Which leads to the third and last takeaway that I want to discuss, and probably the most important, which is never give up. Never ever give up. You know, if it was easy, it wouldn't really be a dream, right? So if we came full circle, and really I want to discuss, like I said earlier, the reason I'm here is to encourage everyone to fulfill your dreams, pursue what you want to do, you know, continue to move forward, continue to move towards your full potential. And if I had to sum up, you know, if we had to sum up the full story today and, you know, a lot of the lessons learned, I think I would sum it up as, in one word, inspirational. And the definition of inspirational is the ability to influence, the power to change someone or something. And if we go back to the beginning, the experience that I asked everyone to think about and let it sink in a little bit, there's really, if you apply those three takeaways, you know, change the odds, change the beliefs, and change your breaking point, your commitment. You know, and if you change those, it's almost a sure bet that you have a good success rate in fulfilling your dreams, whether they're big or small. So in closing, I just want to thank everyone again, and I hope that it's a powerful message, and I hope it has an impact on your lives or somebody else's life. And thank you again for your time.